Alright, here we are at the main mixing console in Foy Hall, and we'll show you how to do some basic things just to get some orientation and to get some basic signals going through the system. First, we'll start with the wireless microphones over here. As you'll see in their charging stations, it's red, white, blue, and yellow in the order that they appear. So they just sit in here and they charge up, which is nice. The indicators down here will tell you if they're fully charged. Green means fully charged. Green with a red dot means it's about 90% charged, and that's the one in the back here. So we have the lapels, transmitters in the back, the handhelds in the front, and there's 4 channels. Now you can only use one of each color at a time. So for example, if you wanted to use one handheld and one lapel mic, you would have to use like one of the red and one of the white. So you couldn't use both the red handheld and the red lapel all at the same time. You could just use one or the other of each color. So you can use up to 4 wireless at the same time. Now moving over to the mixing console here. What we're going to do is show you how to get how to reset things from scratch, basically, because sometimes the music department will be in here and they'll be doing things, they'll be playing around with the settings. So if you're just coming in and need to use a wireless mic or something like that, here's how to get things to a starting point. Okay, the first thing you want to do is look over here under scene memory. Okay, so press that so that scene memory turns red. Now this master control, this LCD here, let's see if I can get rid of the glare here. This will then show up of a list of presets that we have in the system. And you can use the jog wheel over here to scroll between them. But the main one that we want to look at is this in-house, preset number 10. It says in-house, and then we just want to recall that preset. So we can go over here again. So once we've selected that, we can hit recall. And it's going to ask us, hey, are you really sure you want to recall this? And say, yeah, I want to recall that. Great. So now we've gotten to our basic starting point. You'll see that the master fader goes up to 0 here, which is our unity gain level. And now we can start adjusting our main microphone levels. The key thing about this mixer is this button over here, these buttons here. It says channels 1 through 24 and 25 to 48. It's because this mixing console is basically like a big remote control. So there are 24 faders, okay, but there's actually 48 inputs. So it's basically looking at the first page of inputs or the second page of inputs. The first page of inputs, number 1 through 24, over here, are going to correspond to microphone input jacks. So all the way down at the front of the stage, down by that first chair there in the middle, you will see a bunch of microphone input jacks. And if you plug in a microphone down there, a wired mic, they're going to come up in channels 1 through, I think 1 through 12, because I think there's 12 inputs down there. So that's going to be on this channel 1 through 12. If you're using a wireless microphone, that's actually going to be on the second page, 25 through 48. And the wireless microphones actually end up showing up on channels, if we look up here, channels 27, again apologies for the glare here, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So if we put up these faders, 27, 28, 29, and 30, this corresponds to red, white, blue, and yellow of the wireless microphones. So again, to use the wireless mics, we select 25 through 48 here and just bring up these faders for the wireless mics as needed. Now, if we do have something plugged in downstage there, for example, we have a laptop maybe plugged in with a direct box into microphone 1, or if we have a wired mic, again, we will select page 1 and we can go back and adjust those volume levels here. And because it's a motorized fader system, if we go back to the second page, we'll see that our faders for our wireless microphones go back to where they belong because we're looking at that second page of faders. Let's go back here to this one. And again, back to our wireless mics. Also here at the front of house, or what they call the FOH front of house mix position, you will see this input cable here plugged into a direct box, which is pretty much always going to be here, and it's wired directly into the main mixer. So if you need to plug in some background music or whatever else from the main mixing station here, that is going to come up on faders 33 and 34. So again, if we have our channels set to the second page here of 25 to 48, these two faders, and they're linked together. So if you just move one, you move both of them because it's a left and a right. Because it's actually a stereo input, it doesn't actually sum everything to mono. So hopefully this is a basic primer on how to use things in Foy, and we hope you enjoyed this lesson. Call us with any questions.